How you guys doing, and welcome to another Arca Garage video. Today we're gonna check out the Alfa Romeo 147 that has been caught in the flood some years ago. Now the whole car wasn't submerged or anything like that, but it did suffer from some damage, mainly on the undercarriage. You can see right here on the right fender we already got some rust, but this is actually nothing major. Now on the subframe, again, we got some surface rust, but nothing too bad. Everything looks pretty much usual for Alfa Romeo 147, or for that matter Alfa GT. Now on the left side it's pretty much the same story. We got some surface rust on the subframe. As I said, my Alfa GT probably has more rust than this. All of the other components, like lower control arms and things like that, looks pretty usual. Now if we move back a little bit, you can see here's where the damage starts to show a bit more. This is like, although it didn't really catch too big of an area, it's pretty bad. It went all the way through. Now this is pretty much the same. You can see that rust is basically eaten through this metal all the way. Now all of this is still fixable, but considering the price of the car, it's not really feasible. Now we can see right here that somebody already repaired the rusted panel over here. They didn't do too good of a job either. Now on the right side it looks a bit better. This is only surface rust. This metal is still solid. However, if I move a bit more back to the right, this is where the real damage starts to show. This is the repaired panel, and as I said, it's not really good repair, and rust went through it again. This is where most of the damage is located. This part is rusted all the way through, and you can see that it's not even strong enough to support the lift. That's why I moved the lift arm a bit up. Now this is actually really bad. This whole rear right quarter panel is damaged all the way. You can see that the metal basically folded right here. Now if we take a look at the outer layer, you can see that all this is basically rusted through. Honestly, only the metal workers probably know how much work would it take to fix this, and that wouldn't be cheap to fix at all. Now the situation is bad over here as well, but again, nothing too major. I've actually replaced one of these control arms, but I think it was the left one. The left one rusted all the way through, and it was basically hazard. Now here are the rear shocks which I replaced on this car, and as you might have guessed, removing this long screw was the nightmare. Now moving on to exhaust, which is also in pretty poor condition. You can see that it's falling apart, and it seems like most of the damage is located on the left side. This is the control arm that I replaced. Now if we take a look at this panel, you can see that there's basically a hole in it, and it seems that Alfa Romeo's 147, just as well as GTs, have the soundproofing inside of these panels. Let me pull out a bit out. Here it is. And this soundproofing helped the corrosion, as you probably already know. So as you probably already guessed, this car is at the end of its journey. It's pretty much unsafe. Now I worked on this car before, and while it always had problem with corrosion, most of this damage occurred maybe like in the last year or two. Now if I go even further back, you can see everything looks pretty much usual. This rear muffler has been replaced and there is no significant damage back here. Now the sad part about it is that the car still drives great. There isn't any lights on or anything like that, despite the fact that it has a lot of kilometers on it. Anyway, that would be all for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button and support our channel by subscribing and by sharing our content with the rest of Alfa.